Everybody, Roy Caballo. Let's talk real estate. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different, but still something that takes place actually quite often. Open houses, right? Open houses are kind of unique creatures because some people swear by them, but let me give you some statistically just pertinent information that really could make a difference in you doing one or not doing one. So I verified this yesterday. I looked at the National Association of Realtors website, and the success rate of an open house is typically 4%. 4%. That means 97% of the time, or excuse me, 96% of the time, it's not going to produce anything. Another scary statistic, not necessarily scary, but good numbers to know. Out of an open house, a good open house is going to have between 10 and 20 participants. 10 to 20. That's not my numbers. That's the National Association of Realtors. So if you apply that same 4% to, let's say you have a great open house that has 20 people that show up, you are looking at having a participation of about 0.8% success rate. 0.8%. That for a lot of people, that's tough to swallow. 0.8%. Pros and cons with regards to open house. Actually, probably the best pro that you can throw into the mix is visibility, marketability. You know, you have this house, this tangible item that you actually can open the door and let people walk through. It's a huge thing to as far as sales go. So you have that. Another one that a lot of agents don't think about in terms of open houses is feedback, right? So if you're an agent and you're sitting in an open house, you should be trying to get feedback. Right? Feedback is critical because feedback is the tool that you're going to use to communicate to the seller, hey, customer liked this, customer didn't like that. A lot of different things you can take from that feedback if you use it, right? So you have to be smart about that. Gotta throw that out there because a lot of agents, they never really try and exploit that particular piece. So a lot to think about there with just those two items, right? Cons. Because you can't ever, it's like yin and yang, you can't have one without the other. Cons. I also teach Realtor Safety for Florida realtors, and I can tell you probably one of the most dangerous things that you're ever going to do in real estate is an open house. Why do I say that? You are opening the doors to complete strangers. You haven't talked to them, you haven't emailed them, you haven't texted with them, you don't know anything about the people coming into the open house. Nothing. This is 2024, remember? So, yeah, you can't argue that it's probably one of the most dangerous things you're going to do in real estate. To that point, especially if you're a new or newer agent, please don't do an open house by yourself. Please don't. I don't care where it's at. I don't care how affluent the neighborhood may be. Don't do an open house by yourself. It's just not, it's not safe. It's just not. The other, and there are probably other negatives that you can take away from an open house. You know, who's the first person that's going to come in the door? The nosy neighbor from 4 doors down that has never been in the house, but they've seen it for years and they want to come in and walk around. Can you get qualified buyers? You don't know. You don't know if they're qualified or if they're not. You're just getting people that are walking in. They may just be visiting from out of town. They had some time to kill, so they saw an open house sign and said, okay, yeah, let's go to an open house. Let's check it out. It happens like that, folks. If you're a new agent, what's one of the best things you can take away from an open house? Leads. Sorry, sellers, you're probably not wanting to hear this, but it does happen, and it happens every day, and it happens every time an open house takes place. The customer says, well, I'm really not fond of the layout. Okay, that's feedback for the seller. That's something they can take away from it. Nothing they can do about it, but that's something they can take away from it. And the next thing the agent's going to say is, well, if this isn't the right home for you, let me try and find you the right home. What is the right home for you? Do you need more square footage? Do you need an open layout? What can I do to help you find you the right home? Right? So that is a critical thing that, especially for new agents. Along those same lines, new agents, if your brokerage is throwing you to open houses, they're training you on the wrong thing, right? You need to be learning how to market. You need to be learning how to market for free. You need to be learning how to use Remind. You need to be learning how to use RPR. You need to be learning how to use all those different tools that the various boards provide us to make us more successful. You need to be with somebody who can teach you how to advertise to millions of people and it not cost you a penny. Nothing. Zero, right? Zero, right? Those are the things you need to be learning up front. Open houses, you can learn that later on. For an open house to be successful, you need a ton of things to line up. You need the right house, in the right location, at the right time, in the right market, right? If I tell you there's an open house in Fort Myers or Naples, okay, cool, I get that. If I tell you there's an open house in Pioneer Plantation, where's that, right? A lot of factors have to line up for an open house to be productive. I threw a lot at you in a short period of time. I get it. I'm sorry. But, you know, hopefully if you've hung out this long, if you have any more questions, please reach out to me. If you're an agent and you need some guidance, some training, please come on. I'd love to have you. 863-441-3295. Roy Caballo, broker owner, Caballo's Realty, www.caballosrealty.com, whatever. I'm super easy to find. You guys have a great Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.